There are few sportsmen as famous or as revered as LeBron James. Considered by many to be the greatest basketball player of all time, he earned an astonishing $89 million in the year from June 2018 to June 2019. That makes James comfortably the highest paid basketball player in the world. And for good reason. There has been no player aside, perhaps, from Michael Jordan more dominant, more versatile or more intelligent. The consistency of James' performances since he burst onto the scene with the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2003, and his unparalleled marketability, has taken him to the very top of the NBA. At the age of 34, he remains as athletic as ever and continues to average remarkably high in rebounds, assists and steals. His list of awards and honors is seemingly endless. James' reputation has been enhanced, too, by his various interests away from the court. As is made clear on his website, James is everything from a philanthropist to a businessman. He established the LeBron James Family Foundation in 2004 to help single-parent families, and has throughout his career actively supported a number of non-profit organizations. He has starred in movies Trainwreck and Space Jam, hosted awards shows and co-owns the production company Spring Hill Entertainment, along with reputable contracts with the likes of Nike and Coca-Cola, and investments in business such as Blaze Pizza. It is little wonder that James' net worth, as of November 2018, was $450 million, according to Forbes magazine. But success did not come easily for James. Born in 1984 in Akron, Ohio, to a 16-year-old mother and a father who abandoned his young family, James' early life was a struggle. He and his mother, Gloria, moved from apartment to apartment in poor areas of Akron, surviving off what little income they had. On occasion, they were left without an apartment, and forced to sleep in the car. Gloria, hopeful of a better future for her son, told James to move in with the family of Frank Walker, a local football coach. It was Walker who introduced basketball to a 9-year-old James, and it was clear early on that the youngster was a precocious talent. In 5th grade, James began taking the sport seriously. He started playing organized basketball, and later joined an amateur team, the Northeast Ohio Shooting Stars. He impressed, and soon made the step up to the St. Vincent St. Mary High School varsity team. While in high school, James did not focus entirely on basketball. He played football, too, excelling as a wide receiver and fueling future speculation that he could have enjoyed a successful career in the NFL. Instead, he chose to pursue a basketball career, and by the end of his 4 years in high school it was hardly a surprise. James averaged 31.6 points per game in his senior year, leaving with the state title and Parade Magazine's High School Boys Basketball Player of the Year award. James had no intention of continuing his education beyond high school, opting instead to pursue a professional career in basketball. He did not have to wait long to get his chance. The Cleveland Cavaliers moved quickly to pick the teenage forward, already a towering presence, at 6 feet 8 in the 2003 NBA draft. It was the beginning of a meteoric rise to stardom. James ended his first season with the Cavaliers with an average of 20 points per game and became the first member of the franchise to win the NBA Rookie of the Year award. People were beginning to take notice. He made NBA history again in 2005, becoming the youngest player to surpass 50 points in one game. Such impressive performances earned him a place in the NBA All-Star game for the first time. In his early 22s, James, nicknamed King James, was already established at the top level. He helped the Cavaliers to the playoffs in 2006, which earned him a new 3-year contract worth $60 million. James' formative spell with the Cavaliers came to an end in 2010, after 7 years of almost incomparable success. He had guided his team to victory in the Eastern Conference, outperformed the likes of Kobe Bryant and Allen Iverson, and represented his country at the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. James was a free agent when he signed for the Miami Heat in 2010, but his departure from his previous club was not entirely amicable. Cavaliers majority owner, Dan Gilbert, wrote an open letter declaring James' decision as selfish, heartless, and a cowardly betrayal. James was unfazed, though, and finished second in his first season with the Heat, averaging 26.7 points per game. Back-to-back championships followed, before he returned to the Cavaliers. In 2014, knee and back problems derailed James' first season back at his former team, but he remained a reliable performer when fit. The Cavaliers reached the NBA Finals, which made James the first player since the 1960s to play in 5 consecutive NBA Finals. But they were beaten by the Golden State Warriors and made to wait for the first ever championship. To our city, he said, "I knew what I was capable of doing. I knew what I learned in the last couple years that I was gone, and I knew I had the right ingredients and the right blueprint to help this franchise get back to a place that we've never been." That's what it was all about. James had achieved what he set out to achieve, and left the Cavaliers after another memorable spell in 2018. His destination was the Lakers, where he remains today, still amongst the NBA's elite in his mid-30s. In February of this year, he became the 5th player in NBA history to reach 32,000 points, and a month later surpassed Michael Jordan's total. Over the past season, injuries have become more frequent, and there have been suggestions that he will soon retire. When he eventually brings his playing career to an end, James will have time to focus on his business ventures, to grow his charity and, as he told Bein Sports last year, travel across the world, being in my community and speaking about the game. He will, no doubt, star in more films and sign more lucrative sponsorship deals. For now, though, the focus remains on the court. "I got a lot more game to play," he said in February. "I got a lot more years to play this game and suit up and be in a Lakers uniform. That will be music to the ears of basketball fans around the world." James may not be unanimously considered the GOAT, but his influence, his impact on basketball since his NBA debut in 2003 cannot be questioned. No one has ever had as much hype as James has had to live up to, and James has delivered.